All right, what's up, YouTube? It's the Night Saint here, back with another video. This is the part 3 of As a Man Thinketh. This is my little notes on my third part of it. Effect of thoughts and purpose, thought, factor, and achievement. I'm gonna go through the notes, and then I'm gonna speak on them. Excuse me. Body is the servant of the mind. Disease and health, like circumstances, are rooted in thought. Thoughts of fear kills a man quick as a bullet. People who fear disease are often the ones who get it. Men will continue to have impure and poisoned blood so long as they propagate unclean thoughts. Change of diet will not help if thoughts don't follow. A pure mind won't desire impure foods. Clean thoughts create clean habits. If you want to protect your body, you must guard your mind. Negative thoughts rob the body of its health and grace. With those who live righteously, age calm, peaceful, and softly mellowed. The setting sun, like the setting sun, old only in years. The next chapter is thoughts and purpose. Not until thought is linked with purpose, there's no intelligent accomplishment. Aimlessness is a vice. You must steer clear if you want to avoid trouble. People who has no sense of purpose falls victim to petty worries, fears, troubles, self-pity, and all indicating their own weakness. Weakest soul knowing its weakness. Well, the weakest person knowing his own weakness and understanding that strength can only be developed by effort and practice, and with the understanding will eventually become divinely strong. Thinking with purpose always allow you to recognize failure as a pathway to attainment. Negative thoughts, fears, worries never accomplish anything and never will. When these thoughts creep in purpose, energy, and power, strong thoughts cancel out. He who has conquered doubt and fear conquer failure. His thoughts are his allies, or possibly their enemies. Thought allied fearlessly to purpose becomes creative force. Happiness and suffering comes from within. Strong man cannot help weaker men unless weaker man wants to get stronger. He who conquered weakness and has put away all selfish thoughts belong neither to the oppressor nor the oppressed. He is free. Universe don't favor the greedy, dishonest, and the vicious, even when on the surface it may appear. Victory is attained by right thought. Can only be maintained by watchfulness. Where's the book at? Let me see if I got any quotes inside the book that I just highlighted that I didn't read out. No, One second. All right. Here's a quote. As a man should conceive a legitimate purpose in his heart, so to accomplish it, he should make this purpose the centralizing point of his thoughts. It may take form of a spiritual ideal, or it may be a worldly object according to nature at the time being. But whichever it is, he should steady focus his thought forces upon the object which he has set before him. He should make this purpose his supreme duty, and to impure, ephemeral fancies, longing, imaginings. This is the royal road to self-control and true concentration of thought. Even if he fails again and again to accomplish his purpose, as he necessarily must until his weakness is overcome, the strength of character gained with a measure of his true success, and this will form a new starting point for future power and triumph. I like that quote a lot as well. And let me look for one more, and then that's going to be it for this. Oh, there can be no progress, no achievement without sacrifice. And a man's worldly success will be measured that he sacrifices his confused animal thoughts and fixes his mind on the development of his plan and the strengthening of his resolution and self-reliance. As the higher he lifts his thoughts, the more manly, upright, and righteous he becomes. The greater will be his success. The more blessed and enduring will be his achievements. I think I felt that extremely deep. I'm like, dang. When I started to understand that, it just made me it made me feel like it confirmed I was on the right path. It allowed me to really be like, okay, well, whenever my negative thoughts are going, that would be like I'm ultimately on the right path, and and I feel like I'm starting to understand that now is that I don't really have a lot of negative thoughts that run through my brain. It's like I really have like two more that I'm really trying to get out, and like I said, I'm excited because of that. But it's just showing that I'm eventually gonna be where I want to be, and it's very exciting to see. Of course, like I said, that don't mean that it stops, but you got to keep moving. Intellectual achievements are a result of thoughts consecrated to the search for knowledge or for the beauty and true in life and nature. Such achievements may be sometimes connected with the vanity and ambition, but they are not the outcome of those characteristics. They are the natural outgrowth of long, arduous effort and pure and unselfish thoughts. Spiritual achievements are a consummation of holy aspirations. He who lives constantly in the conception of noble, lofty thoughts, who dwell upon all that is pure and unselfish, will surely, as the sun reaches its zenith and the moon is full, become wise and noble in character, and rise into a position of influence and blessedness. Achievement of whatever kind is the crown of effort and the diadem of thought. By the aid of self-control, resolution, purity, righteousness, and well-directed thought, a man ascends by the aid of animality, indolence, impurity, corruption, and confusion. Thought of man descends. A man may rise to his highest success in the world and even lofty altitudes in the spiritual realm, and again descend to weakness and wretchedness by allowing arrogant, selfish, and corrupt thoughts to take possession of him. Victories attained by right thought can be maintained by watchfulness. But yeah, all right, that's all the main points that I found from this. They say about something about sacrifice. They say, if you hear quotes, people say like, success often needs sacrifice, and the greater the success you need, the greater sacrifice you need, and the sacrifice often are hard. I guess it's hard things you got to give up. You got to give up a lot of hate for yourself. You got to give up a lot of laziness. You got to give up all the things that are holding you back, and you got to get more mental allies in a way. Like you got to understand that you got to make your enemy your friend, and you got to really take control of your mind and accept yourself for who you are. And a lot of this is I think it's dealing with the shadows. A lot of this is like, I think that the underlying in this book is that you got to conquer yourself. You need to conquer yourself, and you got to conquer yourself through your thoughts and what you think about. Because often what you think about is feeding your shadow. It's feeding your shadow in a way to where it's feeding your shadow in a way where it's not making it your ally. You strengthening your adversary every day that you think negatively. And I think when I finally started to understand that, I stopped really thinking negative. I stopped giving so much power to my negative thoughts and what I thought about myself, especially because I think that, well, me personally, I know I'm very harsh to myself, and I critique myself a lot on everything. And I'm very judgmental to myself. I don't judge people pretty often. Like I said, I just let people be. I see how people act. I let people act how they gonna act. And like I said, if I'm gonna remove myself, I'm gonna remove myself. But other than that, people are people, and people go through things, and that's how people are. So I try not to give too much energy to that and how people are acting. So I try to keep my focus on myself, and if I'm not doing something right, I try to fix that. But yeah. Of course, that's not all the way good, but that's how I just choose to live my life at this moment. But you have to be able to conquer yourself and just accept yourself and sacrifice all the negative things you were doing to yourself, just for the well-being of yourself. Like me, like the giving up of negative mindsets and attitudes and negative action was something that I have to do for me to really obtain the success that I want to, just my life, period. Whether it's financially, whether it's, spiritually, or even just mentally or emotionally or physically. It's like I have to give up a lot of things. Let's say if I want to start working out, like I said earlier, is that you can change your diet, but if you still have impure thoughts, you're gonna revert right back into the same behavior. It's like for you to really change your diet and really start taking your health serious, you have to change your mind and change and really understand your, like, make an agreement with yourself, like this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop allowing myself to keep eating these impure foods that's keeping me and that's holding me back in this little mental prison that I'm in, and make a change for my life that's better, you know. And it's like something that you really have to understand on like a deeper level. The next point is, oh yeah, negativity. I about to say, like, doubt, being worrying and fear and like doubt is like one of the worst things that I have ever experienced. Of course, like I'm talking about this. Let's say let's treating myself a certain way. Like they said all those type of things, like they can kill you as quick as a bullet, or just kill just mental thoughts about you, or kill your self-esteem as quick as a bullet. It's kind of crazy. It's like how many times like I messed something up in my head, or I messed a situation up in my head because I thought negative of myself, or I thought lowly of myself, or I started to doubt myself. I started to, start to feel unworthy and that type of stuff. When you start to really go against yourself, you start to, like, you're giving your shadow self power, like I was saying earlier, and you're giving your shadow self power to keep you in bondage. And of course, anybody knows anything about the shadow isn't really like the shadow is not, you know, it doesn't want to hurt you. It wants to be aware. It wants to be accepted. It wants to be, it wants to be a part of you. And the fact of the matter is, when you use these negative things, it's like when you being negative about yourself and just being, just speaking doubt into yourself, it's like you amplifying the trauma, and like the trauma of the inner child and the shadow, and it's like it's just making your battle worse than it has to be. So many times I have faced like a lot of negative things because, like I said, I was always feeding into the energy of like negativity, and the negativity ended up just boiling over. And like I said, and it don't affect anybody but you the worst, So I just wouldn't want to ever get to a point again, well, in my life, that my shadow and just my negativity boils over to hurt anybody else that, like I said, that don't rightfully deserve it. So that's where I'm at in my mind, at least at this current day, is that I don't want to ever get to the point where my negativity in my mind spills out, and like I said, start hurting everybody around me. So yeah, it don't do anything but really it doesn't do anything but just discourage you, and it just take you off the path that you need to be. And like I said, it's better that you don't have it, or it's better that you don't think about it and have it in your mind. So, you can just you can just progress with your life, So yeah, all the notes that I got, though, I had spoke on. Yeah, so yeah. I mean, the last thing was I think that just speak about people like me, even me. I had to face this idea that you can't help nobody that don't want to be helped. Uh, I think people in the woke community need to understand this, or just spiritual people need to understand this. Some spiritual people, because a lot of people are trying to like get everybody on this page, like, oh my God, like the government don't care about you. For one, if you really know what's going on, the government never cared about you. Like I said, I already knew this. I knew this when I was a kid. Like I said, I've been doing this shit for a minute. My brother's been putting me on this type of stuff. So I mean, of course I know this. Like I said, you a damn fool you think they ever did, but hey, that's another thing. But yeah, it's just like people be trying to, like, everybody figuring about all this woke shit, and they're trying to, push it out. And it's like, of course, my ego will be like, oh my God, they just doing too much. But at the same time, this is them. Some people probably just be fake understanding it, but some people really be like, okay, some people gonna learn this information and really change their life. But for the most part, people won't. But you have to understand that a lot of these people, it's very ego heavy when they try to learn this type of stuff. But you can't help nobody that don't want to be helped. And when people get like spiritually woke, they want to help everybody, and you're gonna understand soon and quick enough you can't. It's gonna be heartbreaking, but that's the point. You're not supposed to. Like I said, if they was here to really learn this, they would have been did it, or eventually they will, but you just gotta leave them be, and you know, you gotta handle your own business, and you know, make sure whoever around you that actually want to learn and asking and willing to listen and understand, they'll understand. So yeah, if you like the video, like, comment, and subscribe, and thank y'all. I'll see y'all later.